Filled with hope, Bosco begins searching for the place shown in his dream. Meanwhile, he gathers his young people outdoors in Valdaco, telling them about the protection of Our Lady. One day, Bosco went to celebrate Mass, accompanied by some young people. When the event was over, things got really chaotic.
Father, I don't know what to do. Things are getting worse and worse, and I'm so nervous.
The boys ran non-stop around the yard, scaring the chickens that belonged to the priest's helper, Local.
Your boys are always causing trouble.
Patience, my children. Our Lady will show us a good place for all of us.
There were many opinions about Don Bosco and his boys, but nothing could discourage him from the right path. Now, he has about 400 young people who walk by his side to go to Mass. And despite his happiness, the minister is starting to get worried.
I ask that you abandon these young people. This is going to get out of your control.
I can't, Minister. We have nowhere else to go.
Then I'll be compelled to organize and deploy a guard escort to guarantee everyone's safety.
Even without resources, Bosco always spoke with great confidence that one day he would have a large chapel, houses, and schools for his boys. Some priests started to think he was a bit mentally unstable and plotted to send him to an asylum.
Don Bosco, how are you spending this beautiful morning?
Of course, please, come in first.
But Bosco realized it was a trap. He closed the carriage door with just the priest inside and told the coachman to drive off.
Let me go. This is a mistake.
And yet another problem arises. The owners of the land where Bosco and the boys were living started to complain.
Look, Father, your boys destroyed our entire crop.
This can't go on. We're waiving the rent payment, but we have to ask you to leave.
And now, Lord, where do we go? Our Lady, show me the place from the dream.
As if in answer from heaven, he meets a man who makes him an interesting offer.
This is Mr. Francisco Pinardi's property. You're gonna like it.
Now they would have a space to study, to learn, and, of course, a big courtyard to run and play in. The house was old and in ruins, but they had no shortage of willpower and determination. Slowly and steadily, they reconstructed, carefully repaired, and put up new structures in the home that Our Lady had specifically pointed out. The chapel was finished and received a statue of St. Francis de Sales. Easter arrived, and many boys from Valdaco attended the Mass celebrated by Don Bosco. It was kindness, inviting and captivating more and more young people. The older boys started working on the project alongside the contractors. Bosco was always nearby, caring for them and watching over them. Like a good father, he was tireless. Together with the contractors, he tried to convince them to pay the boys a fair wage.
My dear friend, please remember to pay the young men who help you on the job with genuine kindness.
Unfortunately, your condition is quite serious.
Over time, Bosco falls ill, and the young men pray day and night for his recovery. To help with his recovery, Bosco returns to Bec and invites his dear mother.
Mom, would you be willing to live with me?
And the young men?
Mom, welcome to Casa Pinat.
Now, Bosco had his mother's kind heart to help him continue pursuing his dream. Even at the barber shop, he always had a special eye for the young men. He is served by a young apprentice.
What's your name, my friend?
And a few days later, the boy tells him that his mother has died. Bosco welcomes him with his fatherly heart. War comes to Italy, leaving many children orphaned and abandoned. Bosco asks wealthy families for help and manages to find more space to shelter them. After a few years, there was no more space in the house, and Bosco tells his boys that a new building will be constructed in the Porta Nova neighborhood. Some young men who grew up under his care go on to join religious life, later contributing to Don Bosco's works.
May God bless and guide your steps.
Meanwhile, several other young men helped in the vocational sector, teaching a variety of different trades to the boys. But the hardships continued, and part of a house that was being built collapsed. One night, all the food had completely run out, and the boys were very hungry. Bosco served them only a few chestnuts, and despite the little food, everyone was truly satisfied.
He dedicated his life to children and the young, turning his dream into reality. Welcoming the youth and children left on their own, giving them his love and protecting them on the path of Jesus, of charity and compassion. He was a father, a great educator, a master of the youth, teaching his boys the way of love, teaching them to do good and never evil. A true shepherd of our Lord. On the path of Jesus, of charity and compassion. He was a father, a great educator, a master of the youth, true shepherd of our Lord.
Don Bosco is truly a saint.